Hey, I'm Mark. Hey, get in here, take a seat, sit down. What's that? No, it's not, huh? No, trust me. There are no stupid questions, just stupid people that ask questions. What's that? Oh, yeah, give it a minute. Close the door before the administration walks by. I don't really hear what I'm doing in here, because I'm a history teacher and I'm going rogue. So when you're teaching in a history classroom, you might find those students that are a little less appreciative of the things that Grandma and Grandpa have left us. It's the nature of the beast. Find every teachable moment, even if it was a result of last Saturday's college football game. What kind of bird is a Jayhawk? Why are they Oklahoma Sooners? What were the Tennessee Volunteers volunteering for? These things that seem so insignificant can become something teachable to many students. These colleges have selected mascots that have important historical and regional significance for their schools. First things first, let's establish what a standard of what a good mascot is and is not. We're not talking about the guy in a suit that can do backflips or do 68 push-ups because you put 68 points on Division II Adams State. This is for the mascot itself. Number one, does the mascot have some kind of historical or regional significance? Hoosiers can only be from Indiana. Tar Heels can only be from North Carolina. Some animals are native to a specific region or state. Or, on the other hand, is your school represented by a big cat from Africa, or are you celebrating some guys that lived 3,000 years ago and 10,000 miles away? Not historically or regionally significant. Number two, is the mascot original or is it overused? Sure, Clemson won the national championship, but they're still Tigers. 3 teams in the SEC are Tigers, along with Memphis, and Princeton, and Pacific, and Grambling. Number 3, is there some kind of intimidation factor? If your mascot's on the sideline ready to attack somebody from the other team, that's intimidating. Good boy, Ugga. A color. If you're looking at a scholarship to Harvard or Stanford, turn it down. Crimson? Really? You know what else is not intimidating? A tree. Unless it's walking out of Middle Earth and throwing boulders at you. I mean, is a Buckeye or a Sycamore doing that? Sorry, Ohio State. You better bring more than some nut out to Pasadena on New Year's Day. One more note before the countdown. This is Division I, so you're not going to see the University of California at Santa Cruz banana slugs. Or you're going to see the University of Arkansas Monticello boll weevils. They go under the list. Santa Cruz, what a freak show. So here we go. Let's count them down. We're going to count down the best mascots in college sports, numbers 20 through 11. Let's go rogue. Number 20, the University of New Mexico, LOBOS. Not Los Lobos of La Bamba fame. Lobo is the Spanish word for wolf. And while wolves is overused as a mascot with Nevada Reno, North Carolina State, Arkansas State, this one bends my disdain. The huge Hispanic population of New Mexico deserves a Hispanic mascot. Viva los Lobos! Sticking with the Spanish theme, California was Spanish territory, then Mexican territory up to 1848. From San Diego to Santa Rosa to Sacramento, the state retains much of its Spanish and Mexican heritage. Same with its college mascots, where you'll find the Cal State Northridge Matadors, or the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos, or the University of San Diego Toreros, or the University of San Francisco Dons. But, for my money, the mascot that celebrates Mexican heritage best while still striking fear into the hearts of their opponents, number 19, the San Diego State Aztecs. Yeah, those Aztecs. The ones that would carve your heart out of its enemies and sacrifice to their gods. Imagine how that game went on Saturday afternoon. No pressure. Like San Diego State, there are a number of Division I schools based in a specific city. The old Metro Conference, with school mascots like the Cincinnati Bearcats, the Louisville Cardinals, the Kansas City Kangaroos, and all those MAC schools. Honorable mention goes to the St. Louis Billikens. I'm not even sure what a Billiken is, neither did a spell check. But look at that mug. For its historical importance, though, our number 18 college mascot is the University of Dayton Flyers. We know all about Oliver and Wilbur Wright and their work they did at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina in 1903. But the hard work on creating the first airplane was done in their bicycle shop in Dayton, Ohio. Way to go, Dayton. Weather Phenomenon is a fairly non-controversial mascot. This gives us some insight into the region of the world in which the city exists. St. John's University in New York is the Red Storm. Pepperdine University in Malibu, right on, dude. They call themselves the Waves. Make that wave green, you're at Tulane. Iowa State is the Cyclones. Tulsa is the Golden Hurricane. But the mascot name for the weather phenomenon, number 17 on our list, has to be the Miami Hurricanes. See Sebastian the Ibis here? Last bird to leave before the hurricane strikes. Although the Ducks have the name recognition, with a lot of help from Phil Knight and Nike, the animal more associated with the state of Oregon comes in at number 16, the Oregon State Beavers. The first American mountain men in the Oregon Territory made millions of dollars trapping beaver. The rodent is so important to Oregon that they put it on the reverse of their state flag. How cool would it be to have so much money they could just throw $1 million to some people and say, build me a college? Someone like Leland Stanford, or Thomas Green Clemson, or Oral Roberts. They needed mascots too. The school, founded by the guy with the moniker that became the mascot, comes in at number 15, the Vanderbilt Commodores. Cornelius Vanderbilt made his millions of dollars ferrying New Yorkers between the city's 5 islands in the days before the Brooklyn Bridge. His prowess in the shipping business earned him the moniker Commodore. It was logical that the school that he built used his moniker as their mascot. By the way, it was at his school where 6 musicians got together with that moniker and created one of the greatest funk bands of all time. And I love you. What is it about the Big Ten and the rodents? You know, those small little angry mammals that live in holes in the ground. The Minnesota Golden Gophers, or the Michigan Wolverines. Big Blue, you like the name, but not the imagery. Come on, they're the angriest of the ground dwellers. Embrace your inner rodent. But we chose another rodent from the Big Ten for our countdown. Coming in at number 14, the Wisconsin Badgers. Even though we see Bucky Badger all over Camp Randall Stadium, the actual Badger is a reference to the miners in upstate Wisconsin's iron-rich Mesabi range that headed underground at the start of the day and emerged from the mines in the afternoon. Let's talk man's best friend, the dog. Are there some kind of historically important dogs? A dog is a dog. Its familiarity makes it kind of uninteresting as a college mascot. Imagine my frustration when I try to find the score for my alma mater, Fresno State, bulldog born, bulldog bred, gonna be a bulldog till I'm dead. And I confuse them with Mississippi State or Georgia or Gonzaga, Yale, Citadel, Butler, Gardner-Webb, South Carolina State. Frustrating. How about other dogs though? The University of Albany is the Great Danes. That's kind of cool. The Boston Terrier is an actual breed of dog. Wofford Terriers. Cinderella from the 2018 NCAA basketball tournament, the University of Maryland Baltimore County Retrievers. One of my favorites is the Salukis of Southern Illinois. Now this may go against my rule, but because of their importance in the Pacific Northwest, number 13 is the University of Washington Huskies. What separates the Washington Huskies from the Huskies from Connecticut or Northeastern or Northern Illinois? It was the Huskies that built Seattle. If you're going gold mining in the Yukon-Klondike region, you were catching a boat in Seattle, landing in Alaska, and dog sledding over Chilkoot Pass. In days when flying was still a little dicey, it was the Huskies that saved the entire city of Nome, Alaska from a diphtheria epidemic in 1925. Hey, what'd your dog do today? Slept till noon, drank from the toilet, licked itself. What'd yours do? Mine pulled a sled loaded with serum 800 miles and saved 250 kids in Nome, Alaska from diphtheria. Oh. Humanity has an interesting relationship with bears. Perhaps their ability to stand on 2 feet that attracts us to them, and the fact that they can rip your arms off while standing on 2 feet that makes them intimidating. Bears is an overly used mascot. Whether you're from Baylor or Northern Colorado or Chico's bail bonds, Maine tries to distinguish themselves by using black bears, still a bear. Honorable mention goes to the University of Montana Grizzlies, both intimidating and regionally significant. Coming in at number 12 on our list, the Golden Bears of California. Bears are historically tied to California. When the Mexican War broke out in 1846, right or wrong, white Americans that immigrated to California marched on the Mexican governor's mansion, took down the Mexican flag, and raised the bear flag, declaring the Bear Flag Republic. That first flag evolved into what California had... Thank you. What California has today. Golden is a reference to the gold rush a few years later. In 1919, the University of California expanded into Southern California, establishing a new campus in Los Angeles. Originally called the University of California South Branch, the name evolved into what it is today. An alternate, smaller campus, an alternate, smaller bear, thus our number 11 mascot, the UCLA Bruins. Yet over time, the Southern California Mini Bears, what if it was 11 Mini Bears and Ditka, have overtaken Berkeley as the premier school in the University of California system. It is number 2 behind Stanford in the number of NCAA championships won with 117. That includes 10 national basketball championships between 1964 and 1975 under John Wooden, the Wizard of Westwood. Yeah, but this isn't about the rings. Nevertheless, the UCLA Bruins hold the number 11 spot in our countdown. Am I correct? Did I miss an awesome nickname? Are you upset because your school didn't make it on the list? Let me know in the comments below. Or you can wait for the rest of the list to come out, numbers 10 through number 1, to come out in a couple of days. I hope you got a laugh. I hope maybe you learned something new along the way. Like and subscribe if you did. Thanks for stopping by. I want to thank my producer, Michael Cox, Mr. Brent Allen, for letting us use his studio here on the campus of Columbia High School, and I hope you had fun. I sure did, but I won't quit my day job, and I hope to see you again real soon. I'm Mark Haggard. I'm a history teacher, and I've gone rogue. She's a brick house. She's matty, letting it all hang out, built like a megalazon.